Hey guys, I'm Max, a vet from the TT Vase channel, and today we're going to talk about a common problem that worries a lot of dog owners, and that's diarrhea in dogs. Stick around till the end of the video because you're going to learn not just about spotting the causes of diarrhea, but also about how to help your pooch get better. Diarrhea is one of the most common issues in vet medicine. It's basically when there's too much water in the poop. The first thing to know is that diarrhea is a symptom, not a disease. Something else is making your dog have the runs. There's an underlying issue causing your pet's diarrhea, and that diarrhea can vary from mild to severe and can be chronic or acute. Acute diarrhea starts suddenly and can really take a toll on your pet's health. Chronic diarrhea means the poo starts off a bit mushy and then gets runnier over time. Sometimes it gets better, sometimes worse, but it doesn't usually harm your pet's overall health. Diarrhea can hit dogs of any age and isn't breed specific. There are lots of reasons for diarrhea. Various factors can trigger diarrhea in pups, like changes in diet, eating spoiled food, poisoning, food allergies, parasitic infections, viral infections, bacterial infections, stress, tumors, kidney issues, and liver problems. Not every case of the runs requires a vet visit, but there are some red flags to look out for, like blood or mucus in the stool, vomiting, sluggishness, decreased appetite, and weight loss. As soon as you notice your dog's got the trots, there are a few things you can do at home to help your dog feel a bit better. You could give your dog some vet-approved probiotics. Just as we humans pop a pill when our gut's suffering, there are similar options for dogs. There are vet-approved probiotics that can help with some cases of doggy diarrhea. Diarrhea causes rapid dehydration and loss of electrolytes and vitamins, so keep your dog hydrated, offer lots of fresh water, and you might want to feed them sachets which are high in water content. Don't stop feeding your pet. It's important that they get nutrients from their food to replace what they're losing in their poop. Lots of folks are quick to change their pet's diet if they act a bit off to keep them eating. But if your dog has the runs, their guts might be irritated and sensitive. If you change their diet, it might actually make their diarrhea worse. And be super careful about giving your dog any medicine without a vet's input. Loads of drugs we humans use aren't safe for dogs, especially if you don't know what's causing the diarrhea. If your pet's diarrhea doesn't clear up in 48 hours, gets worse, or there are other worsening symptoms, take your pet to the vet so they can diagnose and determine the best treatment for your dog's case. When you take your dog to the vet, they'll find out what's causing the diarrhea to guide the treatment. Often just talking to the dog can reveal the cause. But sometimes other tests are needed, like ultrasound, a sling test, or stool test. Bacterial viral infection, also known as viral gastroenteritis or viral enteritis, is caused by a virus. How bad the disease gets depends on things like the dog's age and immune system, how bad a strain of virus it is, and even if there are other infections at play. Some of the most common viruses dogs get that people have heard about include the parvovirus, coronavirus, rotavirus, and paramyxovirus. Parvovirus and coronavirus are often the culprits when it comes to infectious diarrhea in puppies under 1 year old. They have high mortality and sickness rates. Parvovirus and coronavirus usually target young dogs under 1 year old who haven't been vaccinated or didn't get their shots right. Like for instance, if they were given low-quality local vaccines or taken to public places before they finished their vaccinations. If a puppy comes from some dodgy breeder or place with poor hygiene, it might already have one of these viruses, either parvovirus or coronavirus. And even if the vet takes all the proper first steps for a puppy, it's already sick. Parvovirus tends to be more severe and causes diarrhea with a super strong smell and blood. It causes vomiting, loss of appetite, and lethargy. It weakens the pup so much it's prone to secondary infections. It's a really bad sickness that usually requires the dog to be hospitalized to get better. They often stay in the hospital for days or even weeks, and sadly, some don't pull through. Another virus that causes diarrhea in dogs is a Marburg virus, which results in distemper. When distemper is in its gut stage, it causes severe diarrhea in dogs. If you've got a pup with diarrhea and there's a chance it has one of these viruses, get it to the vet ASAP. Parasites are a common cause for diarrhea in dogs. They can be worms or protozoa, and dogs that are infected with parasites can be a source of infection for other animals and even people. Parasite-ridden dogs might present bloody or mucus-filled diarrhea, bloated stomach, pain, and poor nutrient absorption. Sometimes the symptoms sort themselves out, but severe disease can occur in young animals, weaker animals, or those with other health problems. The most common symptom is diarrhea. It's common in puppies, as they can pick it up when they're born, and in dogs that hang out with other animals at doggy daycare or parks. Diarrhea is caused by a protozoan, and there's a vaccine for it. But even with the vaccine, your dog could still get sick. It just lessens the symptoms and hopefully keeps your pet out of the hospital. For the other parasites, there's no vaccine, but there are anti-parasitic medicines or dewormers. Dewormers don't prevent the infection, they just get rid of any parasites currently in your pet's body. The idea is to always stay on top of your pet's deworming schedule, whether it's every month, every 3 months, or every 6 months, depending on your pet's lifestyle, so that anytime there are parasites, they get the boot, preventing a more serious disease from setting in. Talk to your vet to figure out what anti-parasitic medication is best for your pooch and how often they should get it.
Tons of enterotoxigenic bacteria, such as the Escherichia coli, produce toxins that ramp up secretion and mess with the cells in the gut. This brings about pretty bad diarrhea with lots of loss of fluids, vitamins, and electrolytes. Other bacteria have a knack for multiplying in the gastrointestinal system. They end up causing bad absorption, which leads to diarrhea. Also, there are bacteria that can hurt enterocytes, which are the cells of the intestine. These are usually the types of diarrhea with blood or mucus, belly aches, and fever. It's normal for dogs to have some good bacteria in their gut. These bacteria help keep their gut working well. Dysbiosis is when these good bacteria get out of balance, which leads to diarrhea. Causes of dysbiosis can include stress, changes in diet, and even some medicines like antibiotics. Prevention is always the best way to handle this. Keep your dog's vaccinations up to date to prevent viral infections that cause diarrhea. Maintain a high-quality diet that suits your dog's age and needs. Avoid giving your dog human food or treats that might irritate their digestion. Don't forget to keep your dog clean and clear of fleas, and make sure they can't get to any strange objects or toxic food and plants. To sum up, diarrhea can have many causes and different levels of severity. It's important to watch out for signs and get help when needed. Thanks for hanging with us today, and if you like this content, you need to watch the video about plants that are toxic to dogs. The link is in the comments and the description. Together we can make sure our dogs have a good quality of life.